so that you can have this access to it later. But we are going to go over Google Classroom. If we have time, we will go over Google Meet, and then again, feel free to ask questions throughout the presentation. If you do put it in chat and I don't happen to see it, feel free to unmute yourself and ask away. Real quick, a couple things I want to show you here is here on slide 6. I've got some resources here. So after tonight, if you need help, if you see right here in the upper right-hand corner of this slide, the LTC Spark, if you click on this link, and if you're not in the presentation mode, when you get the access to this slide deck, if you click on it twice, so click on it once, when you click on it once, it brings up the link to it. And what this website is, it's got a lot of different resources here for you to support your kids, whether they are remote or having a lot more assignments digitally. And if you keep scrolling down here, over here on the left-hand side, we've got the Spark Parent Hub, a parent video library, and a district toolkit. So feel free to take a look at those, share those with your school district to share out with other parents. But if you keep scrolling down here, so if you're a Google school, if you click on Google, then you can come down here and get more help with Google. If you're Microsoft, Canvas, here's some other different tools out there that you or your child might be using. So this could be a place that you can go and get some help. And that was here on slide 6, this LTC Spark. The YouTube channel here will have the recording, and then I don't know if the ROE1 will send out the recording to you from tonight's workshop. If not, I can do that as well, but it will be up here on this YouTube channel. And you can just click on that and go to the YouTube channel. But real quick, a little bit about myself here. My name is Lisa Schwartz. This is my 22nd year in education, and the first 19 years I did spend in the classroom teaching 6th through 9th graders. Currently, I am working with the Learning Technology Center here of Illinois and as a regional ed tech coordinator, and I'm helping school districts, educators, parents out there with their needs around technology. If you want to learn more about the Learning Technology Center, slides 8 and 9 gives you a little bit more introduction to that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump in to logging into Chrome. Anytime you or your child want to access any of the Google apps, whether it's Google Classroom, Google Drive, you want to make sure you are logged into Google Chrome. And what I mean by that is if you look up here in the upper right-hand corner, it has my picture on here and it's got my Google account. So if I want to go into my Google Drive or Google Classroom with this account, I need to make sure I'm logged into that Google account. And if you keep looking up, if you look up a little bit farther, there is this person here. That means that I am logged in to my Google Chrome web browser under my work account. I want these two either icons here, or in my case, these two pictures to match up. So could I go to other Google accounts? You can, and this may cause problems at home if you do. So let's say your son or daughter goes into the Google Chrome web browser. They happen to go into your account, to your Chrome web browser right here, and they come down here and sign into their Google account. What might happen is some of your stuff might pull up, your Google Drive might pull up, or if they try to save something here, it may save back to your account. So usually what you want, the rule of thumb here is make sure that these two icons or pictures match up. So anytime that I want to go to my personal Gmail account, or in this case, let's say Blake is going to log in to his Google Classroom account. What I do, or what I have my son do, is come up here to this icon on the Google Chrome web browser, and I change people. So depending on which device you're on, if your child's on a Chromebook, it may look slightly different. But if I come down here to Blake's account, let me click on Blake. what it did, it opened it up on my other monitor here, and let me switch it over. And nope, let me get Blake's here. So it opened up Blake's. So if you see right here, I've got Blake's picture here. This is his student account. And then if I come down here, he's logged into his Google account right here. The pictures match up. Now, could I add other accounts here? I can, but again, the rule of thumb here is try not to do that, because then your son or daughter may have issues with where the work is going. It could be saved into that other Google Chrome web profile. If that doesn't make sense, don't panic. What I've done here is you've got a couple links here that talks more about it. So sometimes when you need to know it, you're like, oh, what did that lady say about that account? You can click on these two different account or links here on slide 10 to go back to refer to it. Because how we learn, is when we need to know it at times. And with the internet, we can Google it, we can search it, but sometimes we don't know exactly what we're searching. So I went ahead and put those links there. So don't panic. I will tell you, for people who are new to the Google environment, that doesn't make sense right away. It'll make sense when you go to find something that you worked on and you can't find it. Here on slides 11, 12, 13, and 14, this just goes and talks more about Google and the different apps out there that work within the G Suite for Education that your child has through their school. So feel free, look at those. Slide 15 and 16. Again, here's some additional resources. So again, there's a lot of information out there. And I went ahead and put links here. So if after tonight's workshop, and if you have time and want to learn more about some of these things, or your child has questions, these links might help you. There's one link here on slide 16, this Guardian's Guide to Tools for Children with Disabilities. Let me click on that. I will tell you some of these tools help me just as an adult learner and user of technology. Again, this is a lot of information here, but this was last updated here in August, and it's just a lot more tools out there. So if you keep scrolling down right here, if you have a child who might have limited motor skills, or depending on their age, you could click on this link to learn more about how to help your child with that. If you can see the icons over here, here's for seeing, hearing, the limited motor skills, and then also executive functioning. So if you want to click on one of these, what it does, it just links you to the bottom of this Google Doc here. Because I don't know if this has 20 or 30 pages to this. So here you can see some things that will help you as a parent to help your child during this time, whether they are remote learning or even if they are face-to-face in the classroom with the teacher. So again, lots of information out there. So that was on slide 16, the Guardian's Guide to Tools for Children. So jumping into Google Classroom here then. We've got Google Classroom, and it's basically what it is. It's a learning management system. I don't know if you've heard anybody say an LMS. LMS stands for a learning management system. It is a way for a teacher to disseminate information to your child. And some of that information could be announcements, it could be assignments, and it will all be housed in the Google Classroom, so your child can just go to one place to locate it. And then in turn, what else this Google Classroom can do is then your child can turn in work to their teacher. And what's nice about this is once the teacher gets used to Google Classroom and the children have devices and internet access, whether it's at school or at home, even if they are gone from school one day, they can access all of their work. They don't have to wait for the teacher to tell them what they missed when they go back to school. And that is if the teacher puts everything on Google Classroom. But as you can see here on slide 18, it talks about the things I just covered. The other nice thing about this, Google Classroom does integrate with Google Drive. So everything is housed in your child's Google account, their school's Google account on the Google Drive and in Google Classroom if the teacher pushes it out through Google Classroom. And then here on slide 19, here's where if a child has an assignment that was created by the teacher, they can turn it in right, my mouse, okay. It's usually the user, right? They can click on turn in right here and turn that in. No more, the days are gone where kids can't use the excuse, my dog ate my homework, okay? And then also, the days are gone as far as the kids saying, well, I did it last night, it's not there today. What's nice about this is...
All right, I was gonna ask a question, but go ahead and finish.
Okay, just one last thing. All the changes are saved in their drive automatically. Your child doesn't have to go and hit save. So I don't know, depending on everyone's age out there, if you remember the days where your teacher says, oh, don't forget to save and save often. You don't have to do that. The computer does that for them. Yeah, go ahead, Rebecca.
So my son, I don't know how well the teachers in class are, because the teacher's doing remote learning and in class at the same time. So I think that some of the assignments are for remote. But anyway, he was working on a paper and he did it at home this afternoon that is in stages, like you do each part and then the final one's due in like a week. So he needed to turn in share that he did the next 2 paragraphs. So how can you tell that you've shared? So he did share, and he shared it through an email is what we did. But then when I went back to sent emails, I didn't see it in there. So okay. How can you tell that it's been sent?
All right, great question. So let me go on to Blake's Google Classroom here. And to go into the classroom, depending on what device they have, if they have a Chromebook, they can go to the shelf. It's the bottom of the Chromebook. It's where the apps are housed. And okay. They could just go and click on it. If not, if they don't have that, or as long as they're signed into their Google account, they can go up here to the waffle. It's like 9 dots here. It's where the Google apps are, and go into Classroom. And Rebecca, what you're asking is, instead of you said your son turning it in through Google Classroom, he shared it with the teacher?
Yes, because it wasn't the final paper. It was like every couple days there was like another step to the paper that needed to be done. But I think he needed, since he got sent home today, so.
Oh no.
I know. So this was the first time that we really had to do it and show that he completed it from home. So, okay. But I couldn't see. So he shared it, but then I couldn't really tell if it worked, I guess.
Yeah. So here is an assignment here. Now, if you see this up here, it's showing share, because this was shared with Blake and 4 other students. So if he hits share, it's already shared with the teacher. Do you see, here's the teacher. So yeah. He really doesn't have to hit share. The teacher can see real time what Blake or any of the students have done. Now, it
was shared with his teacher, so.
Because anything that the teacher pushes out to Google Classroom is shared with the teacher as well. So they can see real time what your child is doing or not doing, or what they may be having trouble on, or what they've got. Because sometimes the kids forget to do is hit mark is done or turn it in. And this mark is done or turn it in, depending on how the teacher assigned it, is what you will see. Mark is done. The teacher didn't assign anything directly for Blake for his own copy. She shared this test, this Google Docs here, and shared it with other students, and gave everyone editing rights. But in your case, let's say your son goes up here and creates a new doc, or a doc was sent out, shared with your child already. Right here it says Blake, it puts his name automatically on it in the upper left-hand corner right here. So that's another thing. Gone are the days where the kids have to remember to put their names on it. Even if Blake didn't have his name on this, when he turns it in Google Classroom, it's associated with his Google account. So do you see the difference here? This is Blake's own copy. He can click on turn it in here if he wants. Let me just write something on here. He can turn it in here, and then it brings up the turn in, and it says, hey, are you sure you want to attach this to turn it in? Yep, he would hit turn in. If he doesn't turn it in right there from the Google Docs, right here, if he goes back to the assignment, and then he can hit turn in right here as well.
Okay.
So it's basically the same thing. And what you'll find within Google and some other apps out there, there'll be multiple different places for the same thing. So whether it's turn in here or turn in on the actual Google Doc, it brings you to the same spot.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Great question. And, you know, going off of what Rebecca just said there, as the teacher, let me go to my teacher account here, and I'll show you what the teacher can see. So even though Blake hasn't turned that in, I can see real time. Is he understanding it? Is he trying? Has he not even opened it? So then I might have to have a conversation back with him or any other student about that assignment. So let me go into, it was the Googlle 101 class. And then, so this is the teacher side, but I just wanted to show you here. So if the teacher wants to see if Blake is working on that assignment, it was assignment 21. And whoops, go down to view assignment. So even though it shows Blake is missing it, if I click on it as the teacher, I can see, has he started it? Has he answered some of the questions? Or sometimes as a teacher, what I've seen before, the kids have it completely done. They just forgot to hit turn in with it. So right here, I can see Blake's typed something on it. I see his cursor. He's got it open right now. And then if this is the case, what I can do, I can come over here on the right-hand side and, you know, ask him if he needs help. So Rebecca, while your child is on remote learning here, this is how your son and you can communicate with the teacher privately within Google Classroom. So as a teacher, I can say, do you need help? Or, you know, hopefully ask a question that maybe gets him going on this assignment, or for him to respond back to me. So if I see that he's completed with it, I can tell him, you know, hey, go ahead and turn it in again. And again, this is new to a lot of the kids and new to the teacher too, that hopefully everyone has grace with getting things turned in, that, you know, if the teacher says, hey, you need to actually turn it in when you're completed, then they can get it turned in. So if you see right here, this private comment, it came up from the teacher, and then Blake in response can say a private comment back to the teacher. If you see right here also, this class comment, on this class comment page right here, Blake could post a comment here, but this goes back to the whole entire class. So if he just wants it to be private, look for the word a private comment. So yeah, great question, Rebecca. Hopefully that helps. If not, you know, when you are helping your son and have that question, feel free to email me, and hopefully I can respond in a timely manner to help you out.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. So I came up with 10 things that you should know about Google Classroom to help your child. Again, if you look at the first thing, open Google Classroom in the Google Chrome web browser. So then you can access the Google app. Will Google Classroom work on other web browsers? It will, but it might not have all the functionality to it. So I've seen people accidentally open it on Safari or Internet Explorer, and they just don't have all of the functions and capabilities in those other web browsers. So always make sure with the you're opening it on the Google Chrome web browser. And if your child has a Google Chromebook, that's the default, and it'll just automatically open. The second thing here is they want to make sure to join a class. Again, make sure they are using their school district account. So depending on the age of your child, they may be old enough to have their own personal Google account. And this happened in middle school a lot. Sometimes the kids were saying, well, I can't access your assignment, or I can't access your document. And then come to find out, they had up here, they had linked their personal Google account to their school district account, and it was opening from their personal account. Let's see. Okay, the third one here is your child does need to make sure they sign into their Google account. Again, using a Chromebook or using a device that they use frequently, they may already be signed into their Google account. I don't have to put in my password every time because this is my personal computer. Stame thing with your son or daughter. Okay, so what we're going to talk about next is in the Google Classroom stream. So step 4 and 5 are the 4 and 5 things to know about stream. So let me go back into Blake's Google Classroom here. And so again, when I went into Google Classroom, I went over here to the waffle. I was signed into his Google account here, and then I went to his classroom right here. So when I go to his Google Classroom, when I first go into the app, it takes me to all of his classes. So right here, these are all of the classes that Blake is in. And then if I want to go into a certain class of his, let me go into the Google 101 class. This will take me to only this class, and I can see only this class. So if I go into stream is the landing page once you get into one of your classes. This is where your child can share announcements out. And depending on your child's teacher, the stream could look differently. So if your child has multiple teachers using Google Classroom, the stream could look differently for each teacher. Just like as educators are trying to give your child some choice in their work that they're doing, Google is giving teachers choice in how they want their stream set up. So in this case, this teacher has set up stream where she can post announcements. She's also got it set up where anytime she puts classwork on here, it shows in the stream. So right here, it shows every time that I posted a new assignment to this classroom. Now, some teachers can turn that off. So right now what you're seeing on your screen is here in stream, Blake can share something with the class. He can even add something from Google Drive, link something here, add a file, or even a YouTube video. This will go to the whole class. And so if he just put, I had a great day today, and if he wanted to add a video, he could, and post it, that would go to the entire class. Now, again, some teachers have disabled that depending on how they've got their Google Classroom set up. And so right here, then other kids could add class comments. Blake could even go back and add a class comment here. And then we've also got where the teacher posted a new assignment. Here's where Blake posted hello. So that's why sometimes teachers have that turned off where kids can't post here because they don't want to fill up the stream with just conversations here. Now, some teachers have the commenting on where they can post here because maybe they have a classroom, they taught their kids, you know, what to post, what not to post, and the kids are following those rules. If you keep scrolling down here, here's where a teacher posted, where I posted a new assignment here, and then where a student commented on that assignment. So again, students can comment on assignments. I noticed with the older students, keeping the conversation turned on here in stream was helpful because then they could help each other. They didn't have to wait for me and only ask me for questions. So again, it depends on the teacher's comfortable, you know, if they're comfortable with it and their knowledge base and um, and how the kids interact with it. Now, you may say, well, Lisa, I don't see where the teacher posts a new assignment for my student here in Stream. Again, the teacher can turn that off. So basically, Stream is a place for announcements, and a teacher can decide what is posted on there. If you look here to the far left, any work that Blake has upcoming that's due, upcoming work here, will be listed here on the left-hand side. So right now, Blake doesn't have any upcoming work for this class and this class only. The other thing you see here on Stream is a link to Google Meet. Some of your teachers may be meeting with your children here using this Google Meet link. What's nice about this is it is secure. Now, let's say Blake wants to join a Google Meet and he's messaged some of his peers and says, let's go ahead and get on the Google Meet and chat without the teacher knowing. Well, if you click on this, so this is Blake, the student, and he tries to get in. The students cannot get in unless if the teacher is in the Google Meet. So again, it's secure. If for some reason that you see your child joining before the teacher, there is a way that they can disable that, and it should be disabled. But in case if it's not, there is a way to get that disabled, and you can Google it or let me know, and I can send you the links of what the district would need to do with that. So again, that Google Meet link. Now, some teachers don't have it there either because they're, thinking, oh, kids will get in to it when they're not there. But in this case, it's the settings are checked where the students can't get into the Google Meet without the teacher. So let me just real quick go over to the teacher's Google Classroom and show you. I'm going to go ahead and turn off as the teacher. So you won't have to know this, but as the teacher, I've got settings. And let's say right now, I've got it where classwork, the condensed notification is shown on Stream. Let me go ahead and hide that. And I will save that. And let me also change it where only students can only comment. And let me save that and show you what that looks like. So going back here then to Blake's Stream, let me go ahead and update this or refresh it. So you'll see the Stream kind of looks a little bit different right now. It doesn't have all of the notifications that every time I posted a new assignment, it's gone off of there now. It still has where Blake posted, but now do you see Blake cannot comment up here? He can't create a new post. So even though at one time he could, the teacher can turn that on and off at any time. Now, can he still comment on the post? Yeah. So if the teacher would post or make an announcement, the teacher left on where the kids could still comment. So again, Blake could post a comment here, whether it was his original post or if it was the teacher's. So Stream is mainly for announcements, but it could look differently depending on how your child's teacher has it set up. Now, if you go back to the slide deck here, so let me jump down here to the Stream. Again, you'll have access to this if you don't already have it right now, but this goes over what the Stream is used for, distributing information to students, and it kind of tells you here in parentheses if that is turned on. Now, again, here on slide 26, this just kind of gives you a quick diagram of what some of the things I just went over there. And then here again, kind of talks about announcements. Now, again, if your child's teacher has the post that they can post, they will be able to share things with the class. If the teacher sees no need for the kids to have that, they can turn that off, but then also turn on the comments. So Rebecca or Amber, do you see with your child's Google Classroom, have you noticed Can they post? Can they comment? Is any of that turned on?
I haven't even really checked it out. All I noticed was there was a lot of assignments, and I think they were supposed to be for remote people, and he was turning it in class, so it still showed missing work, and because he was in class, so I haven't paid attention really.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what makes it a little bit difficult here. And that's fine. But I just, wanted to let you know that it might look different than what your child sees. So,
Yeah, it depends on the teacher. Some of them use the stream, some of them don't.
yeah, you're exactly right. And I know sometimes it's more frustrating as parents having all the differences out there. So just remember to breathe. We'll get through this together here. All right. Any other questions or comments about stream? Okay, so let's talk about Classwork Tab. Have you had any, so if I go to slide 29 here, so I've got it here all on the slide deck, but let me just jump back into the classroom here. So right here, so in Blake's classroom, I showed you the stream here. Let's go to the classwork. This is where your child should go to see all of their work, if this is how the teacher is disseminating their work to them. Now, if you see this right here, up at the top is just any work the teacher's assigned that's not under a topic. The teacher can choose the topics. If you look over here on the left-hand side, this is all of the topics. The teacher could choose it by chapter, by subject, by topic. So again, it could be all over the place. I will tell you, since we started remote learning in March, what a lot of teachers did, they switched their topics to the week of. So if they said the week of October 5th, and they had that as a topic, then your child knows to get all of their assignments from the week of October 5th under that topic. Again, there's some choice in the matter, and again, teachers are learning on what works best for them and their students. So if they've got it under different topics, then your child will just have to, scroll here to look, maybe see what's due, or know, depending on how the teacher's got it set up, where to go for the assignment. So if they know each day to look under each topic for assignments, they could do that as well. But what's nice about this is if it's, due April 22nd, it's got the due dates on it right there. But as you can see, if there's a lot of assignments been pushed out, that can be overwhelming. Also, if you see, so this multiplication of fractions here, if you see it's kind of grayed out, that means it's turned in. So that's turned in. If they click right here, this one's not grayed out, but it shows it's missing. So if it's grayed out, it's either graded or turned in. If it's not grayed out and it's past the due date, it'll show missing here in the right-hand corner of the assignment. So that's a good spot to look at as well. But let's just go into one of these assignments here. Okay, let's go into this tops to bottom assignment. Okay, so this shows when it was posted. Here in the upper right-hand corner, it shows when it's due. It shows it's missing. If they go here to the bottom of this assignment, they can view the assignment. So right here, this has, here's where the points are. The teacher will show you how many points it's worth, if it's worth points. And then sometimes the teacher might put the questions here. They could attach another file with the questions, or they could put instructions right here. But here in this case, this is just the kids' book read aloud, tops to bottom. It's a YouTube video. So then they need to watch it. Now, if the teacher's instructions is for them to answer these questions on a Google Doc, what they could do Do you see nothing, no work was assigned? It says your work, there's nothing over here assigned. So what, again, what your child could do is go up here to add or create. If it's one of these apps, docs, slides, sheets, or drawings, they could create it right from this assignment. If they created it out of this assignment, that's fine, they can do that as well. They could go to their Google Drive and go get that assignment, whether it's under Recent, Upload, My Drive, or Starred. And they could go get it and attach it to this assignment. And that was from Google Drive. They could go and copy the link to it and add it here. They just add the link here. So Rebecca, you said your son had to share that document, and he could share it up in the upper right-hand corner. Well, if he copied the link from that document too, he could add it right here so that it's in this setting, in this assignment.
Can you say that again? If he would have copied it.
Yeah, so let's say this is the assignment, even though it's already shared with the teacher. If he comes up here and hits shared in the upper right-hand corner, he can come down here where it says copy link in the bottom right-hand corner here, click on copy link, and he could put it in the link here and paste it.
Okay.
He could actually add the assignment here. It's not.
I think the way his teacher had that would have been when it was the paper was totally complete though, because I think it was just all under one assignment.
Okay.
And then she had a separate doc that said on this date you need to have paragraphs 2 and 3, and I don't know. I think so.
Yeah. So I see what you're saying. So the teacher wanted them to turn it in, not in the Google Classroom environment then.
I don't know, or just they needed to work on it. They needed to work on it those days, or that's what I don't know.
Okay, yeah. And again, you got to realize the teachers are learning about Google Classroom. Not only are they trying to teach curriculum, but they're trying to learn all of this technology too. So it's hopefully everyone, again, is giving each other grace about turning in the assignments and how they want things turned in. Okay. But I just wanted to show you another way to do it, if that was okay. But it sounds like in your case, Rebecca, the teacher had a different way for them to turn it in because she didn't want it turned in on this assignment until it was the finished product.
That's what it sounded like. Yeah. But when he's done, then that would be another option.
Yeah. Like. So maybe in the future, what might be easier on everyone so the kids don't have to learn something else is creating different assignments. Okay, here's paragraph 2 and 3, turn it into this assignment. Paragraph 4, turn it into this assignment. So again, it's a learning curve for everyone here.
Okay.
But I just want to show you this add or create. So then they could go right here to add or create and create a new Google Docs. And again, it's the naming convention. It'll put your child's name on here and then put the assignment name. So it put Blake's name and then tops to bottom. And if he needed to put the answers to these questions there, he could open that up and then go ahead and put the answers to the questions there. Then again, with this assignment, when he's done, he could come over here and hit turn in and then turn it into the teacher. If he didn't have an assignment to turn in, then what the teacher, again, would need to do is tell the kids to mark as done. And then that missing won't show up there. So it's saying, hey, you're not attaching any work. It's just mark as done. And then it says turned in late. Even though there was nothing turned in, it's letting the teacher know you've done it. Okay. So this was under the Classwork tab where your child can go in and see their assignments. And then there could be multiple different files here attached. So in this case, this was a YouTube video. If I go back here to my Classwork tab, if I go to some other assignments, I could have, whoops. So under this assignment, This I wonder assignment, even though it's turned in, it shows there's a video that the teacher attached to Google Docs and attached to Google Drawings, and then even attached a link to a website for your child to go to. So sometimes could be multiple things under the same assignment. And what's nice about that is then it's all housed in one place. Your child doesn't have to go to different places to access all of the instructions or all of the material for that assignment. Another thing here on the Classwork tab, do you see where it says in the upper left-hand corner right here, view your work? If I click on that, it's going to show me all of Blake's work for this class and this class only. So if I look right here, here's all of the things that have been assigned. Here's the things he's turned in. And then the things that are missing are in red. If I go over here, if that's too much, what I can do, I can filter it down. So if I go over here to the left-hand side, I can click on assigned. I can click on returned. So I can see everything that's returned to him. That means that he's turned it in and the teacher's graded it. So I can see the grade here. And then I can see, even though like on this assignment number 6 right here, he got a 7 out of 18, but it says it's not turned in. A couple things could have happened there. The teacher could have seen it and saw that, oh, Blake, you've done this. If this is what you turn in, you're going to get a 7 out of 18. So hopefully that your child will see, oh, they don't want a 7 out of 18. And the teachers communicated with the child that they can still redo assignments, if that's the case, that for him to complete it and then turn it in. Sometimes the teacher might have graded it and returned it to the child for them to redo it. So then again, it might say not turned in there as well. If I keep scrolling down here to this assignment, the World Lakes assignment, it shows that it's done late, but he got a 20 out of 20. Also right here, you see some assignments have the due date and the time. The teacher again can put a timestamp or have it due by a certain time. And then also right here, you can see this comment box here and this attachment like paperclip. So anytime you see a paperclip, that means that something was attached. If you see this comment box, that means those were private comments. So like on this assignment, the sharks assignment, if we click on there, we can see the 3 private comments right there between the teacher and your child. If we click right here on the World Lakes assignment, I can see 2 comments here, and then there were 5 attachments that had to be turned in. If I keep scrolling over here, I can go to missing and just see all of Blake's missing work. Now, I know Rebecca was saying that even though her child had been face-to-face most of the time, she's seeing some missing work up here because the teacher didn't maybe necessarily use the Google Classroom environment for all of the kids when they were face-to-face. So it does get a little confusing then if that's the case. But, you know, if you look at the due dates maybe, and, you know, now that he's remote learning, you can see maybe what he needs to work on. If you go and look at assigned or even go and look at all. Okay. So again, where was that at? If I go back to my Classwork tab, so I've got 3 tabs up here, Stream, Classwork, and People. On the Classwork tab, I can go here and see, view my work. The other thing right here, I can go to my Google Meet right here as well, if that's turned on. I can go to my Google Calendar. So the Google Calendar here, this is yet another way visually you can see what's due. So each classroom your child has, they have a calendar that goes along with it. So if I look right back here to my Google 101 class over here on the left-hand side, here's all of the calendars Blake is a member of with Google Classroom. So all of his Google Classroom calendars. He can turn those on or off at any time. So right now, If I turn off all of my other classes here, my Googlle 101 class, it shows that what I've got due, there's my assignments tops to bottom. When there's no time to it, that means the teacher didn't associate a time, it's just due by the end of the day. Here, if the teacher put a time to it, it will tell you. Again, if I turn on my other classes, then I can see my other assignments due in all of my classes. So do you see how it's color coded here? So green is the Sangamon Valley class. It looks like these two are the same color. So I could click on my 3 dots here and change the color. Let me just change it to yellow. So it shows me I don't have any assignments due for that class. But if I did, it would be a yellow dot. Let me just I'll change that to this color. So then again, you can see the assignments I've got for that class. So if it's too overwhelming to see all classes at once, you can come over here to the calendar and just uncheck certain ones so that you don't see that. And again, that was under the Classwork tab in Google Calendar. Also, you have a Drive folder that was created on the back end. So everything your child does in Google Classroom is then also in Google, in a Google folder in Google Drive. So if I click on that, that will take me to my Google Drive for all of the assignments for just that one class. If I want to see all of my classes, I look right here and I can see all of my classes that I'm in, and I can go to that folder to pull up all of my work from that class. I will tell you, I don't use the Google Drive folder for the most part, when I'm working in Classroom. I just know how to maneuver around Classroom to look for the assignment. But no, I do know that, if I don't know which assignment something was, I could go to my Google Drive folder and pull up what I'm looking for in my Google Drive folder as well. So if I go back to my slide deck here, one other thing, I know I'm getting close to the time, and I want to honor your time because I know you're taking time away from your family here. So again, there's different things here that you can go into more detail about, like here, what can the calendar do for me in Google Classroom. But I want to jump down to the 3 lines. So slide 41. Let me show you something else here. So again, let me go into Blake's Google Classroom. And if I go over here to the 3 lines, top left-hand corner, the 3 lines is the main menu. Again, if I want to go back to the landing page of Google Classroom and go to all the classes, I can go click on classes. I can go to Google Calendar here too. Same thing as right here, but just another spot for it. And then if you see, here's all of the classes that your child is enrolled in. Here's yet another spot to get to them and switch back and forth between them. But if I go back up here to the to-do, here's yet another place, and it's a little bit different view for the to-do. So right here, here's 34 activities that Blake has to do, but they don't have a due date, but it shows that he's got to work on it. If I go right up here, well, before I go to the top of the page, right here where it says all classes, right now it's looking at all class, but I can do class by class, again, if it's too overwhelming, because right now, if he had 34 assignments to do, yes, that would be overwhelming for me as well. So we could switch it back to 1 class at a time. But up here at the top, if you look at the tabs, just like what we had on the side before, I've got missing. So again, all of Blake's missing work, I can view all if I want, and that was at the bottom of the page. Or if I go to done, I can see all of the assignments that Blake has completed and if they've been turned in or if they've even been graded. So this is under the done tab. So again, I can hit view all. If not, it just shows me, what does it have? 5 here on this page. And then it shows if it's done if it was done early this week or last week, and then here's earlier before this week. So this was, again, the 3 lines at the very top left, and the 3 lines is a main menu. The other thing I want to show you under these 3 lines is there's archive classes. So if your son or daughter's done the archive, have completed classes before in Google Classroom, whether it was from last year or even this year, the teacher could archive the classes, and this is where they would find them. And then also, let me talk about the settings. Anytime you see a gear, that gear represents settings, and you can change things. So what I like about this is the email notification. So in Google Classroom, it's set up where your child will get an email notification. If your child doesn't use email or uses email and this overwhelms them, they could turn it off. If they know where to look in Google Classroom for notifications, they could turn email notifications off by just clicking on that button. It turns them all the way off. If you turn it on, you have choice. Again, trying to give choice to not only teachers, but students as well. Does your child want to get an email notification anytime there's comments on posts, anytime that comments that mention them, private comments on work? So you can decide to turn some on or some off if you leave email notifications on. Do you want an email notification anytime you receive returned work and grades from your teachers? Again, depending on what your child likes, they've got these choices. With technology, it allows for differentiation. So again, where was this at? Up here in the top 3 lines is a main menu. We just talked about the to-do, and then this was the settings. So take a look at the settings, and for some kids who do use their email and they get tons of notifications throughout the day and clutters up their email, this is awesome, a great tip for them that they can turn it off. All right, if I go back here to the slide deck, I know running out of time here. It is 6:29, so you will have the slide deck here for you to access later. But if you want to stay on, if you have any questions about anything for your child, please let me know. Or if you have questions how to access this slide deck, please let me know. But thank you so much for joining us tonight. And I'll leave you with this quote here on slide 54. I did then what I knew how to do. Now that I know better, I do better. I do better. And this is a quote by Maya Angelou. And I like this, and this really helps us here in technology and the remote learning, or even face-to-face, but trying to learn new things, that we are constantly learning and changing and hopefully doing better over time. So again, I appreciate you being with us tonight. If you want and you have time, I think there's 4 questions here on this evaluation, and you could fill that out as well. So if you need to go, I understand, but if you want to stay on and ask any questions or whatever you may have, please let me know. I will go ahead and stop the recording as well.